10 things I no longer buy and their frugal replacements. Hey everyone, it's Kelly. How are you? I'm the Frugal Fun Mum here in Adelaide, Australia. Welcome to the channel and to today's video where we're doing 10 things I no longer buy and their frugal replacements. Oh my god, what a tongue tie. So it's fine to just not buy something, but I think people like to know what you're doing instead. So we're going to get into that in today's video. If you haven't met me before, this is your first time here, welcome. Thank you so much for joining with me today. We love having you here. My name's Kelly. I am Frugal Fun Mum here in Adelaide, Australia, and 2022 I'm doing a no buy year, so no new skincare, makeup, jewelry, homewares, personal cares, basically anything that I just want to try and save a little bit of money, but also make sure that we're using up the things that we have in the house, trying to sort of minimize and declutter some things and just enjoy and love on the things that we have. So Fridays is usually sort of our check-in or about the no buy, so I thought I would talk about 10 of the things that I no longer buy and sort of what I'm doing instead to help save money and keep as frugal as possible. Oh, got that one out, that was good. So for those of you who haven't met me before, I'm Kelly, Frugal Fun Mum here in Adelaide, Australia, and in 2022 I'm doing a no buy year, so no new skincare, makeup, jewelry, clothing, homeware, basically anything that I just want. So I'm making sure we use and love all of the things that we have in the house, trying to declutter and just minimize things. I've had previous background experience in direct selling where I have accumulated a whole lot of stuff. So this year is about going through and sort of cleaning those things out, using them up, and kind of moving on to the next stage of life, which is YouTube and being a mum and being a Zumba instructor and just doing all the things that sort of I want to enjoy. I no longer need to sort of keep up with a lot of the trends and social things that are happening anymore because I'm not in that working environment. So I figured it's time for a change in a new direction because a change is as good as a holiday. And I'm certainly not going on any of those anytime soon. Haven't even been on a work holiday in like 3 years. We can blame the pandemic, but also, I'm no longer in those businesses. So for now, I'm just enjoying being home and doing the things that we need to do here. So no buy. I'm going through also all of the jewelry and things that I have. These earrings were from Kmart. They were like $2. I did buy them a couple of years ago, and I found a gorgeous pearl bracelet that I've got on today. I was feeling it, so I thought that I'd put it on. So that's also part of the no buy year, is going through and making sure I'm wearing and using all of the things that I do have. So without further ado, let us get into the list of 10 things that I no longer buy. Number 1 is takeaway coffee. As I said, I'm no longer working in sort of direct selling / general corporate area, so I no longer need to keep up with the coffee culture, and so socially it's just not for me. I'm home more than I'm out for coffee time. So first thing in the morning I can have my coffee, and if I'm not home, I can just put it in a cup and take it with me in the car. That's where all my coffee cups pretty much live, in my car. So that's not very good, but at least it's not a whole lot of takeaway coffee cups, so I save money. I get the Nescafe coffee when they're on special anywhere. They used to be $3.15, now they're about $3.50 with inflation. So I get those, and then I get 10 in there. I only ever have about 1 coffee a day, maybe 2, sort of just depends how my day's going, where I am, what's going on. So it saves me money there. The second thing is magazines, specifically competition magazines. I think there was like Take 5, That's Life. I don't know, I haven't bought them in years and years and years, but I used to buy them because there was something fun to do, and I would get a magazine and then go to a coffee shop and then sit there for an hour and do all the puzzles, and then I would come home and jump online. There used to be a couple of websites where people would list all the answers so you could double check, and I would buy 2 or 3 of these magazines, decorate all my envelopes, make them all really colorful and pretty, and send them in. It was a lot of time and effort. I loved it. I would win something every other month, even if it was just like a $5 gift card, so I figured it all kind of worked out in the wash, as they say. And if I ever won anything like a puzzle book or anything else, I would just give it to friends and family if I wasn't interested in it. I also used to buy, in relation to competitions, any specific grocery products to enter that competition. You get the Terra flyers in the store. I no longer really do that anyway. Competitions that I do now, I enter online, and I even don't enter a whole lot of them because I have to really want to be interested in that product, or I'm more than happy to go on the mailing list to get future updates or sale information about it. So if it's a product that I'm interested in, or I think, oh, I would so love that, absolutely I'll enter the competition. But in general, I just don't always worry about them anymore. Number 3 is weight loss programs, products, etc. So grouping it all together. So about 15 years ago, I really got onto a massive health and fitness kick. I did need to lose a whole lot of weight, and I did that really successfully. I've joined programs, I've been involved in gyms, in competitions, in weight loss things, stuff like that. Never anything crazy. I only ever lose about 1 kilo a week. I'm sure I sabotage myself by the end of it. But yeah, it just used to take up so much time and energy. There was a gym that so many people used to be involved with. It was only like $149 for a whole year, and there were just like multiple classes of anything that you'd want to do. But for me, it was nearly a 20-minute drive out of my way, and when you're trying to deal with school and phone calls and all those things that come up with life, it does take a lot of time and energy. And I found that every time I'd sort of go, no, I'm gonna go, they'd go, oh, but we're bringing in a new weight loss competition or a group program to get people involved. And I'd go, oh, that sounds so good, because I got to meet a whole lot of people and make some friends. So yeah, I'm no longer focusing so much on that. I've never ever done meal replacement shakes or anything like that. I'm not advocating them or putting a negative on them. I'm just saying I've never done it. I have used protein powders in the past to supplement what I've been doing, especially when I used to go to a PT and do workouts. He worked with me with my food program, making sure I was eating really well, and I think that's really helped me set me up to success for future. I know I snack a lot and things like that. I am working on it, but for now I just feel that I'm happy and mentally with everything that I have to deal with. I'm not even going to go there. I'm just focusing on me and my family and doing things one day at a time. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon, so it needs a lot of time and attention and just focusing on the here and now with a future direction. But I'm doing what I can, and that's all I can ask of myself. Number 4, again as a group, is beauty, talking about services and then products. So the first one is services like acrylic nails, pedicures, manicures, waxing, tinting, etc. I no longer pay for any of those services because I have the time to invest in it instead. So I used to get acrylic nails at a salon in Westfield because I was in and out within 40 minutes. You probably know what I'm talking about. Because the culture back then of the work was quick, and you could get it done in your lunch break sort of thing. So in and out. The same with paying for any waxing services. I would just go anywhere that I could literally just walk in, get it done, and walk out again. So everything had to be really quick and convenient and fast for me. Now I go to beauty schools because they're always looking for models to get free for their training, and it takes a little bit more time, but that's fine because they're training. So I just make sure that I allow that into my schedule. I don't always get everything done, but when I do go, it's usually nails or pedicures. I really enjoy getting those, and I need pedicures as well for my feet because I teach Zumba. So I really want to make sure that I'm looking after my feet. I do my own pedicures and stuff at home, but if you get the opportunity to get pampered somewhere else, why not? On the other side is beauty products. So I no longer buy makeup remover wipes. I just have a flannel and the products that I use. I know that some people don't even use products. I'm not there yet. I will be there one day, but I'm just going to use up what I have. And I'm no longer buying specifically anything that's marketed to me or looks really good, because again, I'm doing this no buy year. So I want to go through, use those products and make sure that I find what I love and what's going to work for me. Number 5 is entertainment, movies, books, DVDs, music, etc., etc. First, I blame the pandemic. We haven't been to a cinema in nearly 3 years because they were closed for about a year, and then after that it was kind of like, what's the point? There's no movies coming out anyway, and now we're finding that any movies that are coming out, they're hitting a DVD pretty quickly after that, so it's not long to have to wait for that to come out. The library is also getting them pretty quickly, and also friends or something will often contact me and say, hey, we purchased this DVD, did you want to borrow it from us? So we've basically got a lending library from friends, family and the community, which is really good. I no longer buy books. I used to go to op shops or Savers, which is my favorite store, to go and get them, but I found again they're just kind of sitting on my shelf waiting for me to read. And as you guys know, I'm a busy mum, so I just don't have time to sit and read. I need to make the time. If it's really important enough to you, you will make the time to do it. Clearly it's not important, but I do love to be go, go, go. So I have audio books so I can listen on the go. Although it's funny, I realized the other day I'd listened to a whole chapter as I was shopping and I had no idea what they just said. It's like, you know, when you read a book and then you're like, I don't even remember what I just read. So yeah, I need to be a little bit conscious when I'm listening to my audio book. So that's where I'm trying to bring in some other things to do in the house. Cleaning is really good because it's kind of like just a job you do, but you can at least focus enough. When I'm shopping, I'm trying to be aware of everything that's going on, so I'm a little bit mind boggled that way. Music is Apple subscription that we do have. We pay once a month, and I have that half for the family and half for my Zumba business. And for us, that is a need, but because I have it for the business, I don't really have it for personal. I don't tend to listen to a whole lot of music. I will listen to the radio from time to time, especially for inspiration or ideas, or I'll see it on YouTube. But mostly the music is for my children to have. My son will often play music in the car for the drives to school, because we can drive up to an hour some days with all the school trips. So that's quite a lot of fun. We are, however, only renting the music for the subscription that we have. So as soon as I stop the subscription, all that music will disappear. We found that out the hard way when we swapped subscriptions from one to the other. So we just keep a list of what we have. As you guys would know, you download a whole album and there might only be 1 or 2 songs that you enjoy from it. So they're just things like that to be aware of. So I know that maybe eventually, if I'm no longer doing Zumba, I might not be interested in connecting to all that music anymore. Who knows? But for now, I don't purchase it as a personal thing. It's pretty much purely business. Number 6 is craft supplies. I just don't really have a passion for one specific thing anymore. I still have all of my scrapbooking stuff from when I used to do creative memories way back when, and I love knitting and sewing and quilting and cross stitch and some embroidery, and I still have bits and pieces of stuff. I just don't have the time or really the inclination to sort of sit down and do a whole lot of stuff. By the time I get home of an evening, I'm kind of home and I'm just like ready for a chill, and I'm trying to do the reading thing, so I can't really sit there and read a book and craft at the same time. I'm not that good. So yeah, just sort of focusing on what I have, and if I get inspired, then I might pick something up. In saying that, I did actually find, I was telling my daughter about the diamond art that I talked about in the reading, doing and watching video, and she said, oh, that's on my desk. And I was like, why are the instructions on my desk? She's like, I don't know. So she's given me the kit, so I'm going to try and make a conscious effort to actually sit down and do it. So I'll keep you updated with how I'm going with that. Number 7 is Christmas supplies. we just have enough to last us forever. I changed the theme of our Christmas tree a couple of years ago, standard green tree, to a white tree because I wanted it so much. And I think we've put it up twice, and I think the first year we put it up, it stayed up for a whole year because I just couldn't be bothered to take it down. And we literally had no visitors that year except for my mum and my in-laws, who would come and go. So it's Christmas in July, and then it's still Christmas in September. What's going on? So yeah, I left a tree up for a whole year. I was like, hey, it brings us joy to look at it. Why not? So I just don't bother decorating the house majorly for Christmas. I don't know if it's an Australian thing, but I guess for me, it's just what it is. My mum is very traditionalist though. Sort of the pageant comes, woof, up goes the tree, all the decorations, and then literally the day after Christmas, woof, it's all gone again. And I'm just like, whatever. We have enough wrapping paper and cards and any decoration present things that I need to last me forever, because years and years ago I did the Boxing Day sales, which aren't the 26th of December many years ago. It was like 27th, because in South Australia our shopping laws and whatever are different from eastern states. So we can't go to the shops till the day after, but we still get amazing specials. But of course I stocked up on all the wrapping paper and the cards, because we used to give so many cards to people, friends and family, in the working environment I was in. And of course the pandemic's here and we just haven't had any of that. And then the last year I didn't really wrap all that much stuff with presents. I kind of just gift bagged everything, because again I had a million gift bags given to me from someone cleaning out their house. And so yeah, I will have enough stuff to last me a long time. Number 8 is clothing and accessories. And because I'm no longer in that corporate look need anymore, I just don't have the need for many of those things. Most of the things that you will see me in is casual clothing, or more 80% of the time is Zumba gear or fitness workout gear. I'm in my active wear. Because I'm either going to a Zumba class or I'm coming home from a class and I've gone to the shops for a quick markdown check. So that's what you'll normally find me in. I have a nice casual clothing that I can wear if I need to be presentable somewhere, and when I go to some appointments and things I will get changed. I don't just always live in my active wear, but I just found that I just don't need to be looking A1 sharp anymore. I know that if you look good you feel good, but you know, I'm just enjoying life as it is right now. A lot of the jewelry and stuff that I've had from before was a lot of costume jewelry, and some of it's starting to tarnish and things like that now. So I need to clean that out, which I will hopefully create a video for you guys. And also I really need to clean out my wardrobe, because I'm not entirely sure what I have anymore. I did declutter a whole lot of massive things well before the start of my no buy, because I was like, if I just quickly get rid of these things, it'll just make everything else easier. And I knew that it was going to be months and months, and I didn't want to hang around to all that footage. It wasn't really anything exciting. It was just like stuff that I knew did not fit me anymore. So I got rid of that, but I need to go through that, and I'll share that with you guys when I do that. And that's also why I'm doing my no buy year, because I'm curious to know what I actually do have that I probably haven't worn in a while. And I know there are some drawers that I have not opened in quite a few years, because I know that's where some of my specific work gear was that I just shoved in there. So we will go through all that. No doubt there'll be a mountain of clothes on my bed, you know, with mountain goats jumping from levee to levee, because there will just be so much stuff. Number 9 is backup products and what ifs. I'm finding doing the no buy year, this is so coming to mind. I used to stockpile a whole lot of stuff, especially when it was on special, but we're finding going through things that they're just a waste of money because we're not using them. And the first thing that comes to mind is the oatmeal shampoo and conditioner, the goat's milk that my daughter uses. We stockpiled a whole heap because they were on special for like $3.49, and it took her ages to start going through them. And the last couple of bottles she has, they've sort of congealed and ugh. So it's just not worth our time and energy. If I have to pay full price for one, then I will, but for what we get. But I can usually pick the sales well enough to buy 2 or 3 that tick us over to the next sales cycle. So I've learned that. And a whole lot of other stuff, I don't buy massive backups, because having people in the family with texture and sensory needs, again, they change all the time. And so guess who's left eating 4 packets of Batman chicken nuggets because we no longer like them, because I stocked up because I never wanted to run out. So I'm no longer really massively stockpiling. I will buy something that I know we love as a family, like Canton sweet and sour chicken. But again, I can watch the sales cycles and buy 4 or 5 of them that will tick us over. If we run out before the next sale comes, then we'll just move to something else. We have enough stuff in the cupboard to do that, and we probably do need to do that. So again, it is learning to go without, make do, etc., etc. The same comes with markdown shopping. I am really specific now about what I buy. Unless I can look at something and go, I know exactly what I'm going to use that for, or I'm going to use that within the next 24 hours, then it stays on the shelf. Even if it's a cake, just because it's cheap doesn't mean it comes home with me, because I figure that it's just going to get eaten. And I know that's a bit of a cliche, but we don't need the calories, so it just kind of stays there. Anything I know that gets turned over pretty quickly, like cookies, we do buy, because that's a sensory and a snacky thing as well. But yeah, as far as a whole lot of salads go, meats I will buy because I can stick that in the freezer, and that's really good. But even that I have to be really careful about. I buy a whole lot of stuff marked down, and my daughter's like, please don't buy that ever again. So I say to her, I'm buying it as a bit of an experiment to make sure that we don't pay full price on these things, and we buy them as marked down to check it out. And she's like, there's a reason why they were marked down in the first place. So yeah, I'm pretty selective and careful with what we do buy now, and there has to be a reason for it. Number 10, and this might surprise people, but I'm no longer buying gifts for my children or gifts for people in general. Gift giving and buying is my love language, and anytime I used to be out at the shop, I'd be like, such and such would love that, such and such would love that. But I'm noticing that massively decluttering the house. I have stuff here for people, and due to the pandemic I haven't seen them, but also life, some things have changed. Also with my businesses have closing, I've no longer got need to use and give those things. Some stuff I still gave anyway, because I was like, hey, I bought this when this was happening, I just still wanted to pass it on to you. But other stuff, we just have excess of things, and I'm kind of here like, why? It's just, it was bought for a rainy day or a what if, and now I'm kind of like, I'm going to wait until I actually need to buy that, and then we'll purchase it. Going back to the children, I no longer buy things that I think, oh, they would like that, because they just don't need it. I think as parents, we like to treat our children and buy things that I think they would like. I'm conscious of the fact that I am exposed a lot more to things, especially being out in the shops, compared with what they are. So the things that I buy, I've brought into their universal, their awareness, and they're probably not really aware of it. My son is happy just to sort of go to school and come home again, but it's kind of me who goes, hey, I want to go to this shop, and EB Games or whatever is next door. Did you want to go in and have a look? And he's like, yeah, okay. It's also why I give the children an allowance now. They do a lot around the house, so they deserve it. They do contribute a lot, but also they do other things to help me. So by giving them an allowance also means that they're able to budget and work out their own spending and purchase the things that they want. I'm no longer giving them stuff, so it's not cluttering around the house. This also relates to grandparents. They would always buy stuff for the children because they're like, I saw this and thought they would like it. And again, it means there's just more clutter in the house. So we kindly did say, hey, make sure you check in and check that it's a good thing. Especially when it comes to things like art supplies, it's better to pay more money for those things rather than get a cheaper thing, because also my daughter can then use those things for her educational stuff as well. So there's my list of 10 things that I've never purchased before. I hope that is a little bit different to compared what's out there on the YouTubes, as my mum would say. I really had to spend a little bit of time and effort looking at other people and what they were saying, because I was there like, I don't know. I guess when it's not in your life, you don't really pay attention to it. You've just kind of moved on to the next thing. Honorable mention, a lot of people talked about water bottles. They no longer buy them. I've bought maybe 2 bottles of water in my entire life. Most of the events I've gone to, especially in business, they give you a bottle of water. So I'm like, cheers. And then also you can recycle it for your 10 cents here in South Australia, so that's good. I've always had a water bottle with me though. I guess all those years of schooling and traveling for education, I've always had it with me. And now that I teach Zumba, again, I've always got a water bottle with me. A lot of people talked about disposable things that they no longer use, paper towels, makeup wipes, and anything that's like a once throw it away. So that was a lot, but also they're connecting that to their sustainability or their minimalist lifestyle. So it was still really good to watch, but it gave me some inspiration too of a video of stuff that I've never purchased. So that's going to be interesting, because yeah, there's lots of stuff I'm sitting there going, I've never done that. Yeah, okay. I don't know, and I don't know whether it's a culture thing, it's different country thing, or an age thing. I don't know. There's just lots of stuff. So that will be interesting to do eventually as well. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Leave me a comment below if there's anything that you no longer buy. I would love to hear from you, especially if there's anything that I haven't included. Let me know down below, or if there's anything that sparked your imagination watching this video. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We would love to have you as part of our Frugal Fun family. You can also join our Facebook group. We have all the links in the box below. And as always, I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye!